求める覚悟義務をなそうはろきがなくて待ちじわなえて文字シティアテに無謀あなた何の奥全部でブラツラだそうふとその答えのだな玉くぼちのなそ女も足去り膝をくちゃませた自ソースにローチリとレンジ翼してもぎを遥かな雲の上高く舞い上がる蒸気の翼で空を咲く古き時代の英雄たちと共に時間の小旅ごとでね誇り高きべきから消す負けた舞うのはああちょ香りもとのことだけだめと水の不思議な竹を伝くて誰中捨てこにて尻尾だったんだにきらびやきこがちきれたけなもがきぼせなら語りの紡ぐ翼のもののケージあのの頑張れあのの頑張れあのの頑張れあのの変えた
What's going on, Misfit Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Matt, the Misfit. This is your Monday Night Raw review for January the 20th, 2025. episode number 3 on Netflix. And boy, let me tell you, 2.5 hours on Monday night is the sweet spot. Man, I can't wait to go over this episode of Monday Night Raw. I'm sorry I didn't get a Pile Driver Pulse episode up last night. I was going to do that. But I just didn't care. I mean, I would have done one after, Genesis, and I know I said I was going to. However, GCW kind of ruined my night. God, that's a fucking terrible promotion. They may win. I might actually put in a category for worst booker of the year, and no one will vote for it because Brett Lauderdale is one of the worst bookers in America. He may be worse than what Tony Khan's booking right now. So, Jesus, I'm not gonna go with that in here. By the way, I do give my thoughts and prayers out to Alley Catrelli, rather. She broke her leg on that horrible ass show. Didn't need to. They didn't need to do. Here's the problem with that, the GCW. And I don't want to spend too much time on GCW, but when I found out that they don't have a medical staff, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So what I think they should do is invest in a fucking medical staff. Brett Lauderdale, instead of wasting your time out at AEW shows handing out fucking free tickets to people because no one's coming to your fucking shows, no one's buying actual tickets to your shows. Jesus Christ. Anyways, Monday Night Raw was from, I think it was from Houston, I believe. Was it from Houston or Dallas? Let me look here. From Dallas, Texas, the American Airlines Center. The show opened up with Corey Graves. We'll talk about him at some point. It opened up with Michael Cole on play-by-play, along with Wade Barrett filling in for Pat McAfee, who I'm assuming will be back next week. I believe he was dealing with a college football game tonight. I think it was one of their championship games. I don't know. Anyways, all I know about football is American football is Chiefs are going to be playing the Bills, I think, and the Eagles are going to play somebody. I forgot who the fuck it was. I don't remember who it was. Somebody. Anyways, I don't care about football. See, that's how much I don't care. But the show opened up with Jey Uso. Jey Uso said he is now in Dallas, Texas, because he has to use his catchphrase to get himself over, apparently. Then addresses his World Heavyweight Championship match against Gunther that he somehow got out of fucking nowhere. Gunther ain't having any of that. He comes out and assumes that Jey is about to say he'll be dethroned him for the world title. Jey confirms as such. Gunther calls Jey a little funny man. Then says he was excited to face Jey until he saw him act like a complete dumbass out here, which is true. Listen. It's about time people reevaluate the bloodline, any member of the bloodline outside of Jacob Fatu and maybe small little bit of Roman Reigns. But let's be real. Man, I tell you, I don't care for this match. It's happened on Saturday. Well, see, I'm yawning because I don't care about this match or the storyline because anything that's happening on Saturday outside of the contract signing has no meaning the following week. So I calls him a dork. Says Jey never falls through with his words. He's a useful idiot with how much he helps out Jimmy, Sammy, and maybe Roman. Maybe I think he mentioned CM Punk there. He says, while Jay's words and actions still align. Woo, I'm so tired. I don't give a fuck about this guy. His new whatever the fuck. I don't know what the fuck I was going. Anyways, all this shit here. Shit says it says all this shit. Jay basically admits that Gunther's right. Whatever. But I've actually made a video of WrestleMania. Gunther gets in his face and starts beating down on him and all that stuff here. Jey Uso stands tall at the end. Jey Uso is obviously not walking out of fucking San Antonio as the world heavyweight champion because it just doesn't fucking make sense to me. We see the New Day run into JBL, not 24 hours earlier was clotheslining people at TNA Genesis. JBL basically is like, we don't care about you. All that stuff here. We have Rey Mysterio versus Kofi Kingston. I do want to make a mention though. I really thought what I thought would have been funny is if while JBL's on commentary that freaking Kazarian would have came out and beat the ever shit out of JBL to be like, what the hell is a TNA guy doing here? That would have been funny, but they didn't do that. This match though was actually pretty good. At one point Ray sends Kingston's head repeatedly bouncing off the ring steps. Dubs kicks the back of the ring. Looks to follow him inside. Woods grabs the ankle to prevent him from doing so, opening the doors for Kingston to rain down right hands onto Rey Mysterio as soon as the top rope. Flies off the top rope to land a knee on Ray, sends Ray crashing into the mat face first. The two teeter on the ropes before Ray lands a drop kick on Kofi Kingston goes for the pin. Kingston kicks out. Then lands a splash off the top rope. Ray sends Kingston crashing into the ropes with a Hurricane Rana. Dials up, calls for the 619. Woods trips, so the referee sees it. Referee then ejects Woods from the ringside. Ray clocks him, sends him crashing to the floor. Kingston looks to take advantage. Ray then reverses into a 619. Goes to the splash. Kingston gets his knees up, but Ray and pins Ray. Ray kicks out, and Ray ends up, rolling up Woods, Kingston for the win. And Rey Mysterio gets the win. After the match, the New Day start beating down Rey Mysterio. The rest of the LWO losers come out to, save the day. And then they got the shit kicked out of them. And that was how that whole thing ended. The match I thought was pretty fine. Pretty good for what it was. Rey Mysterio is great. In the ring, he just got to get the fuck away. Just if there are factions I want ended in 2025, it's the Judgment Day. It's the Judgment Day. It's A-Town Down Under. It's I'll save tag teams for later. Actually, we need tag teams, so do that. The Judgment Day and the LWO, and maybe the Final Testament, because clearly, based on what happened on I'll address that a little bit because there are people in the fucking Twitter space that were being fucking stupid, not using their brain cells on the whole Wyatt 6 shit, and I'll explain to you why. Some of y'all do not know what the fuck y'all talking about. And I'll get that when we get to that here. Sami Zayn then comes to the ring here. Actually, at some point before that, we had Chad Gable at a promo. Basically, I'm so tired. I don't know why I'm so tired today. Which is weird because I woke up at a perfectly good time today. But Chad Gable was doing an interview here, and he said, I get tired of all this luchador stuff because apparently at some point he had a problem with luchadors, so he's going to go to Dominic Mysterio to, I guess, help him with his lucha problem. The Creeds are targeting the War Raiders with the tag team titles, and Ivy and I want to go after Lyra Valkyria for the Intercontinental title. We also saw Lyra Valkyria on the show. Well, kind of. She basically was saying some things about wanting to, bring some prestige to the championship, being the first champion there, and all that stuff here. I might as well get into the other thing. So, when it comes to Chad Gable, so later on, we seen Chad Gable get involved, show up with the Judgment Day, which I was at some point I was hoping we wouldn't see any of the Judgment Day on this show, which would have been a great day for me, but that didn't happen, unfortunately. Because Triple H has the fucking Judgment Day on the show. I mean, he doesn't have to, but he does. So he's like, you got my guy, right? He hands him a piece of paper, like, he was like, I'll use this napkin as a thing. Hands him like this, and he says, I got a guy. And Chad Gable, I didn't think about this until somebody pointed this out to me, and a few others pointed it out on social media. Chad Gable mentioned something about the dark arts of Lucha Libre. Now, I didn't think much of it at the time. And then somebody on Twitter, I don't remember who it was, mentioned this, and I was like, oh, I didn't think about this. I didn't think about this at all. It just so happens to be there's a wrestling school called the Dark Arts of pro wrestling and Muay Thai. Just so happens to be run by current, for a little bit at least, AEW wrestler, soon to be WWE wrestler, Malachi Black. Now people were like, oh, well, he's no luchador. I'm like, well, you do know that also is a school ran by Selena Vega, right? So I'm thinking to myself, I wouldn't be opposed to the idea that Malachi or Aleister Black comes back in as a heel and sort of helps out Chad Gable with his luchador problem. And he, I guess, does something, whatever, to help him out. I don't know. We'll see. But that's something, that was something I was like, very interesting there. That was interesting, though. So let me know, you guys, what you think. Do you think that has anything to do with Malachi Black or Aleister Black or whatnot? I'll let you know there. We had Sami Zayn. He comes out and spoke to Adam Pearce and says that he's officially entering himself into the 2025 Royal Rumble match. Says Seth Rollins' words about him thinking about himself rather than other people last week really got him thinking and thought about about all the people he wanted to who wanted to be wrestlers. Those who actually made it to WWE and the select group of main eventers, including himself. He says everyone else in that group in the Royal Rumble is already in the Royal Rumble, and the only difference between him and those people, meaning Roman, Seth, Punk, McIntyre, I think there was somebody else in there. He said at Cena, they have a world championship they have a world championship added to their name while he doesn't, which great choice there, undermining the NXT championship there, Sami Zayn. Sami says that he's had a great life and a career while he doesn't need the world championship thanks to the support of the fans, but he still wants it. Kevin Owens' music comes out. It's Again, I said this stuff. I keep saying this. Kevin Owens, no one's music comes out. That doesn't make no sense. Kevin Owens comes out, and I thought that we were getting very interesting here. Little teaser here. Kevin Owens, with his Winged Eagle title, the WWF champion, rather, says he knew it was a matter of time before he and Owens came face to face, and Owens says he was upset that Zayn teamed with Roman at Survivor Series, but that situation was different from Cody Rhodes teaming with Roman due to Zayn's history with extensive history with Roman Reigns. Owens says Zayn is his brother, and he's in the ring tonight saying that he can win the Royal Rumble because he deserves it. He says Zayn will win and fight for a world championship at WrestleMania. While they main evented WrestleMania together in tag team action, because they won the tag team titles thanks to the Usos at WrestleMania 39, they haven't done so one-on-one to fight for his Winged Eagle championship when he defeats Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble. He tells Sami that he has his back and he knows you'll have his. And I'm like, no, he doesn't. If you guys haven't figured this out by now, it's going to be Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. No, it's not going to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at the Elimination Chamber. I don't give a fuck that's in Montreal. Or where is it? Are they in Montreal for the Elimination Chamber? No, they're in Toronto. I don't give a fuck that's in Toronto for Elimination Chamber. You do this match at WrestleMania. You finally got to build an actual build for this for these two, and you're gonna waste it on the Elimination Chamber. I don't care if it's in the Sky Dome. Okay, this is a WrestleMania program. Personally, if it was up to me, Cody Rhodes would lose the WWE Championship. Kevin Owens would be the WWE Champion. We would lose we would stop worrying about the fucking who's you've seen and all that stuff. You do Kevin Owens winning the championship. Sami Zayn wins. Actually, you know what? Sami Zayn doesn't even have to win the Royal Rumble. You can have Rollins or somebody win the Royal Rumble, right? I would prefer it. You know, there's been reports about Ilya Dragunov. He's coming ahead of. He's like, what's the word I'm looking for? I had a schedule basically. I would love nothing more for Ilya Dragunov to enter the Royal Rumble somehow by surprise, win the Royal Rumble, challenge Gunther for the World Championship at WrestleMania, and then you have Kevin Owens win the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble. You do Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, with Sami Zayn winning the Elimination Chamber in the Sky Dome, and then you have your two. You have two. You basically have a PWG type style match being presented, matches presented for two world titles at WrestleMania. One being Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov, the other one being Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Not saying Sami Zayn and El Generico are the same person, but you get my point. Because I much rather see those matches at WrestleMania, if I'm being 100% honest, than I would rather see Gunther versus Logan Paul, which has been pitched, and Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the championship. I would fucking, you know what, for Sami, if you guys watch, listen, if you guys want to see a fucking John Cena win his 17th title, WWE has the chance to do the funniest thing, because Joe Hendry, spoiler alert, won the TNA championship last night, and he called out John Cena and he wants to defend the title against him. I've said, you know what? Fuck it. John Cena winning the TNA championship in 2025 is not out of the realm of possibility. That could be his number 17. He doesn't need to win the WWE title. He doesn't need to win the World Heavyweight Championship. He could do that and win it, and drop it back to whoever. Right? You can drop it back to Joe Hendry or something. Doesn't have to do any of that stuff. So I just thought that'd be funny. I thought that'd be funny there. But yeah, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. I think that's the direction for WrestleMania. So there's that. Bayley and Nia Jax had a match. This was set up earlier. I don't know, last week, I guess. I don't fucking know. Bayley, of course, is now on the Raw brand. Thank God she didn't have an interaction with with Damage Control, because I do not want to see Bayley and Damage Control put back together. I mean, what I mean by that, I don't want to see Bayley go back to Damage Control. We don't need that. We're finally getting Damage Control over on their own, and we don't need Bayley to be a part of that, because Bayley really isn't doing very much of anything important here. So yeah. This match I thought this match here, I thought was better than the first two matches, because if I'm being honest, the match at SummerSlam was not very good, and the match at the Bad Blood was even worse. So yeah. So who else was in the crowd was Roxanne Perez, because they're teasing that match. So hopefully that's a WrestleMania match, because I don't want to see them blow it off. Listen, nothing against NXT. I don't think Bayley versus Roxanne Perez should be happening on fucking Stand and Deliver. I'm sorry. Roxanne Perez needs to come up to the main roster. Okay? The fucking transfer window is open. Just use that as your excuse to call her up. So what surprised me a little bit was the end here. So Bayley delivers a sentence. So Roxanne tried to get involved at one point. Bayley stopped a slap from Roxanne, hits her with her own slap, and Roxanne gets ejected from the arena, and all that stuff there. Then later on, Bayley tries to delivers a sunset flip onto Nia Jax off the top rope, goes for an elbow drop, goes for the pin. Nia kicks out. Then Nia delivers a Samoa drop, a senton, and then the Annihilator for the win. That's what surprised me. A clean win for Nia Jax on Bayley. I was not expecting Bayley's first night back on the Raw roster, as a part of the Raw roster rather, and get a loss. So that did surprise me a little bit. So I don't know. Though they can play it up as, Roxanne's fault or whatever. So we'll see. Roxanne did invite Bayley to NXT tomorrow, so we'll see what happens there. After the match, though, Rhea Ripley comes out, because Rhea Ripley got attacked by Nia Jax early on in the night or before the show. They start beating each other up. The crowd's losing their mind here. Rhea actually did a somersault onto Nia. I was like off the nail table, which I was not expecting to see. And then she gets on the microphone and says, "You, me, Saturday night's main event." So it's gonna be Rhea Ripley's gonna have her first title defense since winning the title back against Nia Jax on Saturday night's main event. I have no issues with this for one reason only, because people seem to forget that earlier in the show, Nia Jax said, and I saw these fucking morons on social media saying, "Oh, why are we getting away from Nia versus Tiffany? Why is Triple H dropping the ball?" I'm like, motherfucker. Did you not watch the show? Did you not see Nia Jax get on the microphone and said, "Oh, I'm going to deal with Bayley, but I'm still coming after Tiffany Stratton. I'm not done with her." Do you guys use your ears like these things work? I hope these things work for most of you people here, because I heard it loud and clear. I watched the show. I heard it. Yes, people. Some of you people on the internet are fucking idiotically I can't even speak because that's how fucking stupid y'all guys are. And you know what? I'm gonna bring this up now, because if I don't, I'm gonna fucking forget about it later. So, I'm gonna get to Penta and Pete Dunne in a little bit. I need to address this fucking Y86 stuff, because this irks me with majority of the very passionate, and I get it, Y86 fans who could not accept the fact that the Y86 were moved to another show. That the WWE dropped this entire storyline with that they were doing with the Final Testament and moved them to SmackDown. And their excuses are quote, and I quote, Adam Pearce didn't make a tweet about it. Well, last time I checked, or Adam Pearce didn't make a tweet about it, so it must be Karrion Kross playing games. Last time I checked, Adam Pearce is not the general manager of SmackDown. Why would the general manager of Raw make a tweet about a wrestler from Raw going to SmackDown? I do not recall Daniel Bryan, when he was the general manager of Raw, saying the day after, whatever the fuck that pay-per-view was, Payback, that Chris Jericho, who was on Raw 28 hours prior to that show, was coming over to SmackDown, regardless if he had won the United States Championship or not. If I'm the Raw general manager, and because he put out a tweet, talking about what's on the air happening on Raw, and he said, it's official, Bayley's coming over from SmackDown in the transfer window. He can make that announcement because he's the Raw general manager about a wrestler coming from SmackDown over to his show. He's not going to make an announcement about fucking the White Six going over to another show. Why would he do that? He no longer has the White Six under his show, so why would he be making announcements about the White Six? The White Six have been fucking MIA for like 3 weeks. The White Six, I have not seen the White Six since fucking, I don't know. Actually, I haven't seen the White Six since they lost. No, that's true. The White Six has not been on Raw since that fucking Raw Talk video that they had. Nope. I corrected me if I'm wrong. Nope, I'm taking that back. I have not seen the White Six since the Dexter Lumens match with The Miz. And that was what, the Christmas episode? Listen, I'm getting to the point, and I was one of those people. It was all four of them. The White Six have lost their steam. Okay? Right now, I don't give a fuck about the White Six. To the point where if Alexa Bliss comes back and she gets going to be part of it, which I don't at this point don't foresee that happening now that they've been moved to another show. Because let's be real, Raw needs fucking stars on their women's division. And I feel like Netflix is gonna want Alexa Bliss, who, by the way, is doing a fucking voiceover for one of their shows. Oh man, I had to rant about that because that fucking irked me so much on the social media. Like, people do not want. Like, let me look at my tweet not my tweet, but I was talking to one of my friends and I said, so I'm not going to name any names, but I said, I remain convinced, this is somebody's tweet, I remain convinced that the Karrion Kross lied to The Miz about the White Six being moved to SmackDown. Adam Pearce never made it official on Twitter. What the fuck would he? And there was no mention of them being on Friday. And this is what I responded to. Adam Pearce won't make the announcement because he's not the general manager of SmackDown. That would be Nick Aldis. And also, why would they be mentioned on the show if they're not factored into the show at all? If I was running a show and I had zero plans I use Sami Zayn as an example, I would have zero reason to mention Sami Zayn on the show. And I was talking to one of my friends, and I said, yes, Adam Pearce did one for Bayley because Bayley was moving over from SmackDown to Raw. So yes, the Raw GM would be making that announcement. WWE was not invested in the Wyatt Six versus the Final Testament segment feud, because if they were, the Wyatts would not have been moved to SmackDown. I'm sorry to tell you guys, but I told you so the second that they decided that people tried to fantasy book the White Six versus the Final Testament, because this shit was gonna happen. I knew it. I fucking knew it. The Karen Cross shit ruins fucking talent. I'm sorry. And now they're teasing him going after Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. That motherfucker needs to stay away from those storylines. I continue. And said, also, the Judgment Day are probably moving to SmackDown. I don't know. I want them to move to catering. And I said, if I was the SmackDown GM and I was going to lose, I don't know, so let's say Andrade or somebody, why would me, the SmackDown GM, make a tweet about me losing Andrade? That would make no fucking sense. Now, if Andrade was moving to SmackDown and I was not moving to SmackDown, moving to Raw, and I would be the Raw general manager, guess who would be making that announcement? The Raw general manager. It's very, very fucking simple. It's not that hard fucking concept to grasp. Listen, I get it. You guys are passionate about the Wyatt Six. I understand y'all's frustration. Some of y'all are really fucking delusional. You guys got to get over it. You guys got to accept it, move on, wait to see what they're gonna do next. And no, I'm not talking about them feuding with the fucking Solos. I do not want to see Uncle Howdy versus Roman Reigns. Okay, at all. That I rather see this water bottle versus Roman Reigns. Okay. All right, I've ranted about that now. I had to get that off my chest because if I didn't, I would fucking lose my goddamn mind. Okay. Now let's talk about something I want to talk about, which is Pentagon. Okay. Penta thing it continues to be over with the fans. Had a very, very good television match with Pete Dunne. Bell rings. Penta and Pete Dunne exchange right hands. He does the Zero to Miedo thing, which is starting to get over, and I love that. Even in Texas. Dunne blindsides Penta with from behind with a right hand, then snaps Penta's fingers. Penta whips Dunne into a corner. I do want to mention something that they teased for next week. I'll get that in a second here. Looks to land an enziguri. Dunne landed an enziguri on his own after Penta gets hit with one, or Penta hits him with one. Looks to land a moonsault out of the corner. Penta catches him with a boot to the midsection. Looks to fly out the ring to level Dunne on the outside. Dunne catches Penta with a right hand, sends him crashing into the apron spine first. Dunne delivers a few knees and all that do that stuff here. Penta delivers a boot to Dunne's midsection at some point, follows it up with a delayed Bronco Buster, sends Penta crashing into the mat off his shoulders. Dunne charges at Penta. Penta catches him with a super kick, follows it up with a Mexican Destroyer. I was sort of upset that they didn't do the Pete Dunne, Adam Cole spot from Survivor Series, because that would have been fucking awesome if they did that, but they didn't. So Penta then flies over the top rope to level Dunne on the outside, but Penta sends Penta crashing into the mat back inside the ring. Dunne and Penta exchange strikes from one another. Dunne snaps Penta's fingers again, locks in the triangle on him. Penta escapes with a power bomb of some sorts, with actually more of a backbreaker onto Pete Dunne. Then gets ready for the sacrifice, set him up for the sacrifice, and the Penta driver for the win. And Penta is doing some great stuff. Now, I'm loving that Penta's getting over with the WWE fans. I love that for him. There was something I was kind of, okay. All right. So, so when I found out Penta was going to wrestle on the show, and I was trying to figure out, well, who can he wrestle? Who was a heel on the Raw roster that he could wrestle? The first name that came into my mind, because I completely forgot Pete Dunne. The first name that came into my mind was Ludwig Kaiser. I said to one of the people I follow on Twitter, I said, next week, Penta versus Ludwig Kaiser, please, at Triple H. Well, before this match happened, Ludwig Kaiser was interviewed by Jackie Redman and basically said that he wasn't impressed by Penta. And I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. So we may, in fact, get Ludwig Kaiser versus Pentagon next week on Raw, and I'm all for that. The mana is running strong in that match, hopefully. So we have CM Punk heading up about the Royal Rumble. He basically says that Sammy is not on my level, whatever it was. The rest of the members in the War Games match, not War Games, Survivor Royal Rumble, so he may call in favor or two. And then he, and then for no reason at all, but I loved it, took a shot at Hulk Hogan. He said, he said, that don't work for me, brother. He said, this is good. He said, you put Hulk Hogan in the Royal Rumble, I'll throw his dusty ass over the top rope and I'll kill Hulkamania once and for all. I fucking died. I fucking died. I'm like, damn. Oh, man. Bad. I don't know if the look that Jackie Redman gave was fucking hilarious. I fucking died and it was great. I loved it. It was fantastic. I fucking died. And my camera, I think, is out of place here. So let me move it here. Let me see if we can move it a little bit here. There we go. There we go. I moved it a little bit. It was out of place for me. It got on my nerves. Ever notice that when you're like looking at your camera and you just like it looks weird and I had to fix it, but yeah, the CM Punk thing was fucking funny and I died. It was great. Oh, great. Probably the silent line of the night here. The Peter Trash Collective took on Damage Control. Let's be real. IYO SKY is fucking tastic, and IYO SKY should win the Royal Rumble. I don't give a fuck about Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair, I hope, finds the catering and then gets lost on the way to the ring, and then by the time she gets to the ring after her number is called, the match is over. Because IYO SKY actually deserves to win the Royal Rumble a lot more than, and I love Becky Lynch a lot more than Becky, a lot more than Charlotte. That woman was the MVP of 2023 for the women, or 2024 for the Raw roster. I know Chelsea Green is out there too, but we're talking about the Raw women's division and the in-ring stuff. I was arguing with somebody on a Discord server. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday or the day before, and he said this person quote straight up said foreign talent need managers to get over, or crowds or whatever do not care about in-ring talent. Well, tonight, you try telling the fans that about IYO SKY, because every time this woman gets into the ring, the crowd loses their goddamn mind. We had "Let's Go IYO" chant. IYO basically won this match by herself, and I love Dakota Kai, but she basically won this match by herself. Though I will give credit to Zoe Stark, who fucking killed Dakota Kai with a fucking nasty ass missile drop kick, springboard drop kick. That fucking, like, how do I explain this? So Shayna was in the ring with Dakota. She blind tagged Shayna, and I don't know. She's like, bam, just boom, right into her, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, damn, Zoe. But I thought that was great. But IYO SKY is fantastic. I really hope. Hopefully it still stays the course. IYO, Rhea, WrestleMania. Like, the women's matches at WrestleMania or around WrestleMania weekend should be as followed: IYO SKY versus Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton, Bayley versus Roxanne Perez, Becky versus Lyra Valkyria. Those are the WrestleMania matches. And you go to NXT TakeOver, you got Julia versus Stephanie Valkyria. And that's the match I think they should do winner take all for. So, boom. That's what they should do. That's what I think they should do. Do not steer away from it, Triple H. I don't know how Triple H can't hear that crowd tonight or every other night that she's out there and go like, nah, we're gonna give it to Becky. Nah, we're gonna give it to Charlotte. You do know, Triple H, that IYO SKY is one of your Golden Girls, right? Charlotte Flair's not one of your Golden Girls. You barely pushed Charlotte Flair, even when she was the NXT Women's Champion. So, yeah. Main event: Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, the rematch from WrestleMania. This was a great match. I could spend a lot of time on it because I want to get the fuck out of here because I am tired as a motherfucker. So near the end of this match here, McIntyre kips up. Then it sets up for a Claymore kick after a Falcon Arrow that McIntyre hits to Rollins. Goes for the pin. Rollins kicks out. That's when he does the kip up afterwards. Sets up with the Claymore. Rollins avoids it, looks for to level McIntyre, but McIntyre sees it coming. It's an Alabama slam. Rollins delivers a Hurricane Run on and a Falcon Arrow to McIntyre. Goes for a pin. It was a sloppy pin, but Rollins kicked out. McIntyre then looked to land a Future Shock DDT onto Rollins. Rollins avoids it. McIntyre levels Rollins with a clothesline. Rollins fires off some right hands on McIntyre's arms, clinches in a crossface. McIntyre crawls over to the bottom rope to break the hold, then connects for a Future Shock DDT. Rollins pins him. Rollins kicks out, then rolls Rollins up. McIntyre for the win. After the match, McIntyre just starts beating the shit out of Seth Rollins. Sami then comes out for the help, and all of a sudden, Rollins is up in the corner. McIntyre's going to do something, and then McIntyre rolls out of the way and gets, Rollins accidentally gets hit with a haluva kick. Basically, he's planting seeds for a Seth Rollins heel turn, which is at this point very much needed because Seth Rollins is getting fucking annoying as a babyface. So, yeah. But that was Monday Night Raw. I thought matches were fine. I enjoyed the Pete Dunne Penta match. I enjoyed the main event. I believe it or not, I did enjoy the women's tag match because when you put Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, who are actually very good at the pro wrestling, with two people who are super over in IYO and Dakota. Also, Kyrie and Asuka when they're around. They're coming back very, very soon. You got great stuff out there. Man, I'll tell you one thing. I just don't see them ever putting Sonya Deville in a singles match ever again. Because Triple H is fucking angry that Sonya Deville had the balls to have one of the worst matches of Io Shirai's career. So yeah, CM Punk fucking nerfed Hulk Hogan on tonight, which was great. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know what I'm gonna do for NXT tomorrow. I got a lot of things, personal things coming up in a couple days, so I may or may not be streaming. I don't know. we'll see. I'll let you guys know. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do for the Royal Rumble. But we'll see on that end here. Yeah, I've been Matt the Misfit. This has been the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I'm actually going to play another song from the album, The Echoes from the Vault, which I'm going to actually see what I'm going to play here. I'm going to play, I can look it up here. Freedom's Call is what it's going to be called here. And I'm going to play it out, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Until then, the links in the description are going to be in the links to my socials are going to be in the description below. Please pre-order the compilation album from Iron Roses, which I just said is Echoes from the Vault. That's going to be out on March the 14th. Also order the brand new album Steamheart Chronicles, which is out now. Until then, I will see you guys hopefully for NXT or something. We'll see. We'll see what we're going to do. I might do a Apologize Repulse tomorrow because there are some things that I do want to talk about. So I'll let you guys know what's going to happen then. Until then, we're out.